Stockpile these foods now in support of yourself, your own preps, and for potential support of the resistance movement to restore our great nation. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Where I'm going with this is, you'll see where I'm going with this. Any and all foods, of course, and water. That's part of our preps, whatever you eat. But if you want to be part of the solution to our nation's issues, like I've talked about in the previous videos, this one is more specifically if you can't, maybe you don't want to fill some of the roles, or the role you fill is going to be the stacker, the food supply, the warehouse, the store, for people coming in that you can help out, that are out there doing the stuff, fighting the good fight, whatever it may be. More specifically, what I want to get into is rations. Because if you are going to be supplying the war fighters, if we get to that point, hopefully we don't, but like I said, if people are out there fighting and they need food, they need supplies, it needs to be in the form of rations, because those people don't have time in the field to cook their food and to go through all that kind of work. They need quick, easy, ready to eat, no fires needed, no preparation needed, all that stuff. So what are rations? Rations fit into there's a lot of different stuff here. So I got this big, huge list of stuff I wrote down. So stay tuned. Watch the whole video because there's a lot of good stuff, especially even at the end. But before I get into it, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and that little heart with a thanks in it, super thanks, if you want to help us out doing the things. My ability to produce better videos, do more stuff, show you more stuff, then hit that, donate to the channel if you feel like it. But before I go any further, I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate all your support and keeping up the good fight and doing all the things, being part of the preparedness community. All right, foods that support mobility. Like I said, weight is a factor. So some of these things are lighter, some of these things are heavier. But the main thing is, like I'm saying, is rations. No preparation needed. All right, so let's get into them. Well, first off, rations. What are they? I kind of covered that. Foods that don't need to be cooked, and etc. A lot of people think of immediately MREs. I'm not even going to talk about MREs because you can't even get real MREs unless you have base access to go to the PX or the commissary and buy actual MREs, or if you are in the military. So all the quote-unquote MREs for sale on like Amazon, eBay, stuff like that, they're not actual MREs. They may have been like stripped down or something like that. They may be like a civilianized version of them, but I'm not really going to go into them because cost and stuff like that. It's easier to do all the things that I'm going to talk about. But yes, rations are foods that you can just eat, like canned goods. Canned goods right here. Open that up, eat it, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Let's go into canned goods. What kinds of things would be really good to stockpile for canned goods? You probably already know this, but let's cover some stuff. Meat, canned meats. Right up back in there. Canned chicken, canned beef, stuff like that. Vegetables, fruits, and don't just think of high calorie items. Calories are important, but the mix of nutrients, micronutrients and macronutrients that people are going to need. And they also want that variety, because if they eat the same thing day after day after day, it's going to get old and it's going to suck. Help increase their morale. That's what this role is here for. Canned butter is a good one. Canned bread. Some of these things like I'm going to talk about are little not as well known as other ones. So canned soups, or like these boxed soups, canned tomato or pasta sauce. That's not as useful really because they're not going to be cooking pasta. But canned stews, things like corned beef hash, chili's up here. Any and all canned goods, because you can just open up the can and eat it right out of the can. Another thing people really like talking about, and they're used in a variety of different communities, are emergency ration bars, meaning like Daytrex ration bars, SOS bars, UTS bars, Grizzly bars, those kind of things. They're like those they're like shortbread cookies, and they usually have carbs, fats, and a little tiny bit of protein, but mainly carbs and fats, because the carbs are what's going to get you going. It's in an emergency situation, but they're a good mix to have, as far as I put them in my kit for when I'm out long term. So that's really good to have. All right, meal or protein bars. Well, here I can show you one right here. For example, a Quest bar. And another one, I didn't really write on this list, but I realized the cookies. Protein, carbs, bunch of good stuff in them. And, it's kind of like having a treat. Let me see. Yeah, Cliff bars, Quest bars, granola bars, nut bars, fruit bars, all those kind of things, because you can just open them up and eat them. Some of these things I'm going to talk about have really long shelf lives. Some of them don't have as long a shelf lives. But if you're keeping it rotating, you're keeping it stockpiled and stuff like that, should be good to go. All right. Meal protein bars. Okay, we covered that. There's a lot of different ones, obviously. I'm not going to name them all off. You guys know what they are. So let's get into the next topic. Drink mixes and electrolyte mixes. Very important. Things like Tang, Kool-Aid, Liquid IV, Crystal Light. There's another thing is there's a lot of other ones out there. But what I would recommend is doing is, if you're going to support in this role, don't get the sugar-free versions. Get the sugar versions, because the people out there doing those things will appreciate the energy from the sugar. It's not the best source, of course not, but some situations it's okay. And it's those powdered drink mixes and electrolyte mixes are really good, because you can put in your hydration bladder, you can put in your canteen, your water bottle, whatever it is you have out there, and it really helps you. It helps morale, it helps your electrolytes. It's just a really good thing to have. All right, so we got pouch meals. Here's one I'll show you right here, what I'm talking about. These things. They're in a pouch meal. This is black bean. There's like 3 bean mixes. A lot of Indian foods, like from India, Indian foods, like curries, like chana masala, and different things like that come in pouches like that. And that's a great way to do it also, because then you just tear them open and eat them. You don't even need a spoon. You just pour it in your mouth. Simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's one of the biggest things. Yeah, beans, chili, those rice mixes, where it's already cooked up, and you just open it up and eat it. What's really good is some of the rice mixes are really dry. So if you get a bean mix like this and a rice mix, you can kind of like pour them together and then eat them together. And it makes it a little more palatable and easier to eat. All right, let's talk about jarred foods, aka home canned foods, or things that just come in jars like, like olives, other things like that. All those things that you home can, fruits, vegetables, even prepared meals, like you make up a whole meal and then can it in your home canner, your pressure canner, or water bath canner, depending on what the situation is, what it is, things like that, because that's the same thing as, say, a canned good. It's just open it up and eat it, which is really good. Any and all. And you could, like I said, you could do individual foods, like canned green beans, canned tomatoes, whatever, individual types items, or the ready-made meals. Like make up a bunch of meals, home can them, have them stockpiled as part of your preps. But then if needed, you can also support the warfighters. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But, all right, drinks. Drinks like Powerade, Gatorade, energy drinks, coffee drinks, coconut water. Okay, let's talk about these for a little bit. So the electrolyte drinks, really good. In a way, I would prefer the powdered, because it doesn't take as much weight and space. But it also doesn't provide the water portion. So if that may be a good situation, if they need water. If there's plenty of water around, maybe it's just stick to the powdered stuff. But anyway, okay, so Energy drinks, I get it. They're not good for you, but they may kill you someday. Well, you know what? The warfighters out there probably don't care that an energy drink may take a month off their life at the end of their life when they're 90 years old. Okay, so energy drinks helps keep you energized. It helps keep you maybe awake at night, sitting in an LPOP or something like that, or on some long-range patrol, stuff like that. Coffee drinks, same kind of thing if you drink coffee. And why did I say coconut water? Coconut water because coconut water is really close to, I believe it's the like human plasma in your blood. It's a really good hydrator. So coconut water is really good for keeping you hydrated. I personally, I don't really like the taste, but if you fill up your bladder with, or canteen or something with coconut water, throw in a drink mix, you won't even know the notice the flavor. All right, so let's get into dehydrated foods. Only those that are easy to eat though, right out of the container. So you're talking like jerky. An example, you all know what jerky is, right? Teriyaki, beef jerky. Yeah. Turkey jerky, chicken jerky, bacon jerky, pork jerky, whatever it is you want, or whatever it is you eat. Dehydrated fruits that are easy, like when I dehydrate blueberries or huckleberries or strawberries, those you can just take out of the container and eat, pop in your mouth, good to go. Those kind of fruits. Also vegetables. But only vegetables, obviously, that you can put in your mouth and eat. Not that are so hard that you can't even chew them. All right, so you got to think about that. All right, let's check the time. Yeah, we're good on time. And then I have an etc. category. First off, actually, I have this. So going back to like the protein bars, stuff like that, there's also protein shakes like this, Premier Protein. 160 calories, 3 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 30 grams of protein. It's not a meal bar. It's not a meal. But it's calories and it's also hydration. So, and they taste good, morale, and yeah, help your muscles recover quickly because of the proteins they need. All right, my etc. category. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of my favorites. I love the peanut butter pouches. I take, peanut butter pouches with me in my gear. A lot of times I'll take tortillas also, or some naan, or some pita bread to put the peanut butter on and eat it. Really quick, easy, field ration. Jams, same kind of thing to go along with the peanut butter, and or just spread on something, or just eat because it's good. Crackers, like Ritz crackers, or anything like that. Any different kinds of crackers. Crackers are light. They usually last fairly long period of time. All right, breads. Fresh bread even, because it can be eaten. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long-term storage thing for the guys out there fighting that you're trying to support, because they're not going to hold on to it very long. They're going to eat it. So you don't have to worry about it going bad. So even fresh breads, tortillas, things like that. All the different breads. You guys know what I'm talking about. Even nice items like cookies or cake, things like that. Honey, fresh fruits and vegetables, because you're not so worried about the shelf life. They're going to be consumed, and they can be consumed without cooking. Obviously picking the ones that can be consumed without cooking is important. Water is a big one. Having water to provide people. Fruit and veggie cups. I remember that. Yeah, so like applesauce right here. I don't have any other ones right here, but like the cups of peaches or the mixed fruit, different things like that. The fruit cocktail, whatever. Things along those lines. Nuts like almonds. Peanuts, whatever kind of nuts that you like, walnuts, cashews, macadamia nuts, those kind of things, and seeds along with it, like pumpkin seeds, whatever, sunflower seeds. There's a lot of good seeds out there that are edible without having to cook them. Jello and puddings. I saw one in here. I forget where it is, but and that made me think about that, because that could be like a little treat. So these are a lot of the foods that can be eaten quickly without any preparation needed. So if you're going to be, or you perceive yourself to potentially be in the role of support personnel for some major conflict, maybe it's for an invasion. I'm not saying it's going to be us fighting ourselves. Maybe it's foreign invasion, and you got to help feed U.S. troops, National Guard, local militias, whatever it may be, people out there fighting to defend your nation and your area. It's very important. And or also to provide, just to help out your community. These are all good things. All right, so let me just do a quick recap. We got food. These are all foods that support mobility, rations, canned goods, emergency ration type things like bars, meal bars and protein bars, drink and electrolyte mixes, pouch meals, like I talked about these, jarred foods or home canned foods, drinks, dehydrated foods, and then all those things that kind of just fit in the etc. category. You probably think of a lot more that I didn't talk about. Could be, pretzels, crackers. I'm just kind of looking around here. Some Pedialyte, or the off-brand stuff. Oh, there's some pudding I see down there. But anyway, these foods that can be eaten on the go are something you may want to think about stockpiling. I think it'd be very advantageous. And it should be part of your preps anyway. You should have things like rice and beans, and things that need preparation, but you should also have ration categories, because when things go bad, you're not always going to want to sit there and prepare this big meal. Or maybe you'll be on the run or on the go or at a bug out location or in the process of bugging out or whatever it may be. And you'll need foods that can be eaten without preparation. So this is very important. I hope you guys think about it. I hope you guys take action on it. Everybody can't be out there boots on the ground, but we all need support staff and a support structure, an infrastructure per se. So remember, prepping is living insurance, and we're all in this together. We need to pull together. We need to tribe up. We need to mag up. We need to gear up. We need to train up and get ready for what's coming. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.